quick. Hopefully you can see it now. If you could just walk us through that, because that's the other piece I want. I always recommend to people be thoughtful and intentional, have goals, talk to a few different coaches, interview the right coach for you. Even in champions, you guys have a lot of different coaches, and I don't know if you guys are like this advice, but I would say interview more than one. And when you talk to other coaches, it's got to be a personality essence. You got to like them, you got to respect them, and you got to want to be accountable to them. So, Coach, walk us through these questions just so that folks that reach out to Mortgage Coach that we provide this leadership to, it'd be great if they asked themselves these questions, maybe even filled out the questionnaire.
Yeah. As far as the interviewing more than one coach, the way that we approach that at Building Champions, but I do 100% agree. Look around, see what's available out there. I mean, Dave, you know me and my health history, man. I am all about second and third opinions. So I think it's really important that you find the right match. I'll tell you the way that we handle it at our team. Our sales team is going to ask you questions, and they're sort of going to interview you and find out how you're wired and look for that best match. You might be looking for a coach with no mortgage experience. That may not be important to you. Like, I don't care if they know the mortgage industry or not. What I'm more interested in is I want to become a great leader. I'm a great tactician or technician, or technician, not a tactician. But I need to really grow and stretch as a leader, and that really is our focus right now at Building Champions. So anyway, that said, you do need a good match, and the vast majority of the time that just works out because of our process. But certainly with any coaching organization, yeah, that's what I would look for. We try and get people, as you look at this questionnaire, to start doing some introspection, Dave, around, okay, what do you want to get out of coaching? I think probably the most effective question that I ask in coaching is, and it's a shortened version of a Dan Sullivan strategic coach question that he calls the R factor question, and it's the relationship factor. He talks about 3 years. I shortened it up to 1, and that is, a year from now, what needs to have happened through coaching that will make you feel good about this engagement, not only in dollars, but in terms of time? And it really gets people to think differently, like, wow, okay, so it's a year from now. Gosh, I'd really like to think that my production is up, and I'm spending more time with my kids, and I'm being deliberate about vacations, and I am more intentional with my purchase business, for example, and, whatever those things are. Well, as a coach, that's money. That's what I need to know as a coach. Tell me what you're looking for. These are not standard answers. So this whole first section is around priorities and goals for coaching. The second one is assessing your life. That for the coach to know, what is it that fires you up? Is it Mother Teresa? Is it Mark Cuban? Is it money in the bank? Is it more time with family? That help us understand what it is that's important to you, and then we can begin to help you formulate a plan to get there. We want to find out about that person's role. What is it that you do day in, day out? Are you a loan originator all by yourself? Are you a loan originator with a team? Are you a producing branch manager, area, regional executive? We need to know what it is that you do. Where are your blind spots? We have a variety of different assessments, like a 360, for example. Dave, I'm sure you've done these, where you get input from subordinates, your boss, peers, and it's anonymous, and it helps you to look at this sort of holistic approach of, wow, I had no idea I was being perceived that way. So anyway, your role, vision and business planning, we really want to help people get clear on, have you really business planned before? If you have, we want you to be helping us to understand how clear you are and where you want to go. Our experience is most people really aren't. They have a rough idea. Yeah, I did 30 million, I want to do 50 million. Okay, what does that look like? What's the business mix? Where do you want that to come from? Who's doing what? Is there somebody on your team that is handling disclosures? We want to know what it looks like in and around your vision and your plan for your business. Priority management, of course, is the big one, Dave, for everybody. Everyone struggles with this, and we just want to get a sense of, how do you manage your day, when you're most effective. Jason Womack, I know you know Jason. Jason used to coach for David Allen.
Getting things done, yeah.
He's so good, and he's got this great question. He says, I'm at my best when? And man, if you complete that question, write that down. Write that down and just answer for yourself. I'm at my best when, and what is that? I wake up early, I work out, I eat a healthy breakfast, I knock out my non-negotiable disciplines by noon. You figure out what those are, but the more that you sort of self process this and share it with your coach, the more effective your coach is going to be able to be with you. I could go through the whole thing, but I don't think we need to go through the entire questionnaire. But does that make sense? It's sort of like taking, an X-ray and putting it up on a light board, Dave, in a doctor's office and saying, okay, let's look at your cholesterol and let's look at your blood work and let's kind of find out where you are before we have a conversation about where you're going to go.
Love it. So, folks, I hope this has been a valuable dialogue between myself and Coach Bill Hart. My wish for everyone is that you do take it to a next level. You pick the right coach. But people always ask me, what's the best CRM? And I always say, well, it's the one you use. And it's kind of like the coach. I mean, you're gonna. I don't know if there is a perfect coach, but the one that you commit to, the one that you surrender to, and the one that you really use is the best coach for you. So hopefully this has been valuable to you. Looks like Bill's got one more thought.
I think you hit on something really valuable there, Dave, and I don't know that I would have consciously thought it until you said that. I've got a why file that I keep that Daniel Harkavy, the founder and head CEO, told me to create 13 years ago at WHY with a question mark. And he said there's going to be moments where you're coaching somebody who made 3 times what you did last year. And you're going to ask yourself, why aren't I back in the business doing that? And that's when you go to the why file. And the why file are the handwritten cards, the letters, the printed emails that you get. And after 13 years, you can imagine it's a pretty big file for me right now. And I marinate in that, Dave, because that's the thing that fires me up. I would ask a coach, why are you a coach? What attracted you to coaching? My response is, I've always been a coach. I love coming alongside people. And that's the thought that you triggered in me is, for me, I love the idea of coming alongside someone and walking with them in their journey. And in the mortgage space, very often, there just is nobody. Who's really going to do that? Who can you be 100% transparent with about your journey, your battles, and your victories? That's what I would encourage you to look for.
Love it. Hey, thanks, Coach Bill. Really appreciate you taking the time to make this video for the Mortgage Coach community.
My pleasure, bud. Take care.